have another story for me? You talk and get paid, I spread the news. It's a classic win-win. We're short-staffed, overworked, and trying to report on a million things at once. Not to mention there's a constant battle with the powers that be to maintain our journalistic principles. So, things are just swell. Dear Lord, everyone wants to know about Baron. He's a smart guy. He cares about what he's reporting. He's way too damn cozy with the UC, and that's a problem for us staying impartial. My biggest beef with him is he's credited with everything he reports, and he doesn't lift a finger to correct that impression. Next time, then.
Administrations come and go in the big city, but SSNN is here to stay. We're close to the action here in New Atlantis. Prime position to report on the big stories that affect the United Colonies.
You look familiar. Where do I know you from? Oh, yes. Lynn mentioned hiring some brand new miner before she left for that job. I must have seen your picture in the contractor database. I take it this means the job's done then. Good to know. So, what can I help you with? Well, after I book a job, Lynn meets with the clients to nail down the details. She negotiates the terms of the contract and even supervises some of our more important work sites. That woman never stops impressing me. As a former contractor, I'm surprised you don't know. We take on jobs that others won't, whether they're far away, extra tough, or just plain dangerous. And we always get the job done on schedule at a lower cost than our competitors. I book and process our jobs, manage the schedule on a broad scale, and interface with new clients. We're a small company, so a lot of us administrative types wear a lot of hats, as they say. We just picked up several more contracts. Risky stuff, if I'm being truthful, but we position ourselves to take advantage of jobs like that. Think asteroid mining and other tough jobs. The next few years are going to be interesting for Argos. I heard about that. I'm glad you're okay. I understand it could have been a lot worse if you weren't there. We don't normally offer contractors the same benefits we offer full-time employees. But then again, our contractors don't usually face pirate attacks. Here, I'll compensate you for any medical treatment or other expenses you incurred as a result, as long as you don't attempt to pursue any outside litigation. We appreciate it, but in the future, it's probably not wise to engage in conflict with the pirates. Just give them what they want, and insurance will take care of the rest. In light of that incident, we're actively looking at increasing our security budget. So regardless, thank you. Goodbye now.
Kind of wish I could take the rest of the day and go work outside. Heck, sorry. Do you mind talking with Aurora? She's better at handling clients than I am.
Who knew there'd be so much paperwork at a mining company?
Good to see you. Anything I can do for you? See you.
Welcome to Whetstone. You must be joking. I have an exclusive contract with the Trade Authority. It's all shipped in from off-world. And no, I'm not divulging the planet of origin. The general term? A sharpening stone, for knives. The kind of knives that cut the most delicious meat in the settled systems. This Whetstone, though, is the best restaurant you've ever eaten at. If you like a perfect steak, you're in the right place. But of course,
There are unconfirmed reports of a significant data breach in Galbank's New Atlantis office. Galbank representatives would neither confirm or deny these rumors. SSNN recommends that all Galbank customers change their login credentials and monitor their bank accounts for suspicious activity.
Don't be nervous. You got this.
Easy for you to say, top of the class.
Infinity is huge. Like, staggeringly huge. They need people like you. Even with your grades.
Yeah, I'm sure a junior assistant is vital.
It's your foot in the door. Show initiative, positive attitude, and the sky's the limit.
I could see how you made head cheerleader.
Go Timberwolves!
I'm
You
going
looking
to
for
be
a
a
job
glorified
too?
gopher.
Infinity is always hiring. Always.
Welcome to Infinity Ltd's corporate headquarters. We don't get very many visitors here. It really makes the day crawl by. Unfortunately, I'm not authorized to make appointments myself.
Hope New Atlantis has been treating you well.
wow, you look completely different.
It's me.
I mean,
You look great, but isn't it going to confuse him? He won't even recognize you.
I'll be mysterious.
Zoe, you are one in a million.
Maybe for our third date, I'll be a redhead.
Did you
I
hear
wonder what she looks
I
like for
like your
real.
nose.
Does
I
she
have to
even knows?
remember it. Enhance is my favorite place in the galaxy.
You could put them in a home. Send them to some backwater planet with a Roman numeral at the end.
How can I help you be the best you possible? Hi, welcome to Enhance. Thanks so much for stopping in today. I'm sure my staff and I can accommodate your every need. If you're here to try something new or on a whim, or to replicate a look you've seen and loved elsewhere, or just want to love your reflection in the mirror a little bit more, we've got you covered. All our services and records are private and confidential, so no need to worry.
We should visit sometime.
Well, I'm not at liberty to disclose any of our patients' personal motivations or services. You understand, of course. But, gosh, it could be anything, really. Something simple or a total reconstruction. Why you're here doesn't really matter to me. It's just important that you're satisfied when you leave. Oh, yes, of course, sure. Enhance's proprietary register technology is absolutely the best in the settled systems. There is a reason we've been the #1 most trusted brand for reconstructive and plastic surgery for 2 decades running. Oh my God, you certainly put things bluntly, don't you? You just took me a little bit off guard. It's like you read my mind or something. You see, I've run into a bit of an issue, a teensy little issue. I may have lost a data slate containing the confidential information of numerous patients. Little things, you know, like payment, information, procedures done, age, birthdays, mailing addresses. Oh no, who am I kidding? This is so bad. If that information gets out, my business and reputation could be destroyed. No patient will trust me again. Because I sense a kind of aura around you, an air of nobility. Also, it all just spilled out. I couldn't hold it in anymore. Oh, come on. Don't be like that. There's no need to hit someone when they're down. Please, I'm begging you. You'll have to find that slate. Yes. Thank you. And let's see, I frequent the Terra Brew nearby, as well as Whetstone. I also stopped by the Valberg building recently. Thank you for doing this. You're a lifesaver. Please, come back as soon as you have the slate. Oh, and don't read anything on it. It's confidential stuff, remember? Come back anytime.
I can't get enough of all the trees around here.
The Freestar Collective has no place in New Atlantis. Well, I want it torn down, of course. The fact that there's even an embassy for them here after what they did, it's infuriating. Tear it down. Tear it all down. Ha! Diplomacy? That doesn't mean anything to the FC. They'll break any law and treaty that they feel like. It doesn't matter to them. What's my problem with them, really? I'm keeping the FC accountable for the terrible things they've done. The Colony War was an unforgivable tragedy. Countless lives could have been spared, but the Freestar Collective was out for blood. The Freestar Collective took my father away from me. Oh, please. Grief has nothing to do with it. Facts are facts. And the fact of the matter is that my dad would be alive if the FC never broke the Treaty of Narian. Back to business.
Thanks for choosing. Hi there. Welcome to Terra Brew. How can I help?
All of our services are designed to minimize pain and maximize happiness. You found it? Oh my God, thank you so much. I don't know what to say. You have helped a humble businessman. You saved me and my business. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much. Oh, I hope this hasn't tainted your perception of my wonderful facility. If you need any work done, I'll always be here. If you'd ever like to make a change, we're up to the task.
I feel underdressed.
Yeah, I don't know why they set up shop here. They'd be better off in Neon, but Outland's used to people like us.
So the hardware is worth the trip?
Best in the settled systems. Expensive as hell, but once you are kitted out, we can go after the big bounties.
I just wish everyone wasn't staring at us.
Screw them. Let's do some business.
If you need serious fight,
always makes my
Outland's one of the best.
You're only as safe as your equipment out there. Welcome to Outland. We deal in only the finest, most reliable gear for whatever adventures may await you. All of our products come highly recommended by individuals who have devoted their lives to distant travel. And while I've never needed them myself, I stand by everything we offer. No flying for me. Not my style. Goodness, no, I just couldn't. You're out there millions of miles away from anything, and if something goes wrong, I can't stomach the thought. I prefer solid ground under my feet at all times. And preferably a hot, fresh coffee within reach. Can't get those in space either. I do. In this line of work, it's essential, don't you think? Not seeing people come back would not only suggest that they're not satisfied with our business, but that whatever they purchased had failed, leaving them unable to return. I would not be able to sleep at night if I thought that were the case. Please do. I hope we have something that suits you. Get it? Be careful out there.
Check. Rifle? Already stowed. Fuel? Ship and generator?
Skunk bags and scavengers. They're like...
I picked up something you might be interested in.
Yeah, what is it? Actually, yes, I do. Here you are. Until later.
I'm pleased to report that our stocks are currently being maintained at 90% or higher. I'm sure we have anything you might need. Welcome to UC Distribution. Now, before you say a word, I am required to inform you that formal complaints cannot be filed until the customer feedback system is back online. I have been told it'll be up and running in 2 weeks, but you know how these things are. I am sorry for any potential inconvenience. Also, if you're here about a corporate account, I've been assured that deliveries will be back on schedule soon. You mean besides providing a pleasant face for customers to interact with? It's all in the name. We distribute materials and products all around the United Colonies. Never a dull moment. Always something going on and 4 other things we need to be ready for. I know some people don't believe it, but we really do the best we can. Wouldn't still be working here if I didn't care. Yes, of course. Please, take a look. Who, Jordan? That kid's in here every other day with some random thing he found, trying to get credits. Yeah, I took pity on him. Why, what is it? Oh, really? Well, you can have it back for what I paid for it, plus a little extra. Let's call it a convenience fee, shall we? I could, but I did pay for it. I'd like to recover my losses. And it's all the way in the back room. I'd have to walk back there, then back out here. You did say this was important after all. Honestly, it's probably worth way more than what we're talking about. Suit yourself. Back to it then.
Stop! In the name of the law! UC Security!
UC Security, you're under arrest. I've got special orders. You're coming with me. Prepare for immediate transport to our vessel. I've been authorized to inform you that you're being transferred to the UC Vigilance. You'll find out more when you get there. Other than that, I'm not at liberty to divulge any additional information. We have orders to transport you and your vessel to your final destination, the UC Vigilance. Any deviation from those orders on your part will be considered an act of hostility and will be met with aggressive force. Smart decision. Stand by to be transferred.
Look at all of this. UC SysDef certainly isn't taking the Crimson Fleet threat lightly.
Why else would he be going through all this trouble?
I still don't understand why he trusts a criminal. Seems like too much of a risk.
Stop worrying and keep an eye on our guest. I'll be right back.
You just sit tight. The commander wants to have a little chat.
The prisoner's ready, sir.
I hope you're comfortable. We have a lot to discuss. I'm your ticket out of the mess you've gotten yourself into. That's all you need to know for now. Highly perceptive. Let me add that to your list of skills. Speaking of which, let's see what we're working with here. Seems you had a bit of a reckless past. Always fancied yourself as a wild one, eh? We can work with that. I also see that you mined on Vectera, and now you're with Constellation. You've certainly been quite busy. Oh, and look at that. Right at the bottom of this list is the criminal incident that landed you in my crosshairs. You're absolutely right. Well, I'll have my people get right on that. Now that we have that out of the way, let me introduce myself. My name is Commander Kibwe Ikande, and I'm in charge of this operation for UC SysDef. Are you familiar with what we do? that's something new we're trying. I figured we needed to branch out a bit, broaden our horizons. UC SysDef is a division of the UC Navy. While they handle the big picture stuff, we deal with a very particular problem. The Crimson Fleet. That convict is where you enter the picture. On the books, they maintain combat-ready spaceborne forces to deter aggression and ensure the safety of the United Colonies. What all that fancy claptrap means is that they're the ones who fight in the wars to keep our territories secure. Smart decision. We've been prodding at the Crimson Fleet for years, trying to take them down one ship at a time. But we barely scratched the surface. If we can get someone on the inside, we have a shot at finding a loose thread we can pull to bring it all down. If the military rolls in and attacks the Crimson Fleet, we'd have a full-scale war on our hands. That means losses, heavy losses, that the United Colonies can't afford. That's where you and I differ. As a citizen of the United Colonies, I accept my responsibilities. You, on the other hand, clearly couldn't give a damn. Look, I'm going to make this simple. Agree to work for UC SysDef, and together we take down the Crimson Fleet. Refuse, and I tell these guys to throw you into the nearest lockup. Might even tack on an extra few hundred credits to your fine. Well, first of all, we'll forget about the infraction that landed you on the Vigilance. Wipe the slate clean. Better still, depending on how well you do your job, we'll even kick in a few extra credits to offset any cost that the operation will incur. Or, you can throw all that away and end up back in jail with a hefty fine attached. I'm not coercing you into doing anything. I'm simply giving you a chance to redeem yourself. So, what do you say? You going to work with me, or should I find someone else? You aren't leaving until I have an answer. If I didn't think you had a chance, I would have left you in lockup. You're just going to have to follow your instincts and trust me. Smart choice. I'm going to have one of my men escort you to the operations center. I strongly suggest that you don't give him any trouble. And don't bother trying to leave the ship. I think you'll find all access to the docking area is fully restricted.
Let's go. So, you took the op instead of serving the time. Gonna be the commander's new mole, huh? Going in all alone, infiltrating a bunch of pirates. You've got a lot of guts. Still, it makes you wonder, especially with the stories that go around. Like the one about how the fleet deals with informants by lashing them to the hull of a ship and then slowly letting the air out of their suit. Could you imagine a worse way to go? I know I couldn't. But I wouldn't worry about it. Since the commander handpicked you, I'm guessing you can hold your breath for a really long time, right?
Conde's on level 2. Try not to touch anything until he actually clears you.
Alright, this is as far as I go. Take the lift up to Ops. Commander Conde should be waiting for you.
Howdy.
Excuse me. We hunt piracy all across the galaxy. Yes?
Ah, there you are. Excellent. Now that we've established your level of cooperation with us, I want to introduce you to your new home. This is the Operations Center of the UC Vigilance, SysDef's nerve center dedicated to the destruction of the Crimson Fleet. We are currently in the Sol system, in deep orbit around Phobos. As to why, I'll explain momentarily. That's strange. According to your file, you've encountered them before. On Vectera specifically. They were the pirates that attacked your mining outpost? I'm surprised you don't remember. Which is precisely why we're taking a more clandestine approach. We need eyes and ears inside the Crimson Fleet. Someone who can feed us information, evidence, and expose their weaknesses. The catch is that you can't just knock on their front door and ask for an application. Getting inside is going to take some finesse. Let's get one thing straight right now. While you're working for me, I'm going to treat you like one of my own. Whatever crimes you've committed in the past no longer matter. You're now an agent of SysDef, meaning that it's my job to keep you alive. Good. I have just the right place for you to start. Our intelligence has managed to find a possible opening into the Crimson Fleet through Saoirse Bowden, one of their contacts. She works for the Trade Authority in Sidonia, so you'll be using a container of Aurora we've loaded on your ship to get her attention. That's classified. Suffice to say that the smuggler who was previously holding it will be spending the rest of their life in prison. That's right. So it'll be your job to convince this person that you're the real deal. Once you bluff your way into the Crimson Fleet, then the operation proceeds to evidence gathering. That's where my second-in-command, Lieutenant Gillian Toft, comes into the picture. She'll explain everything you need to know. Let's just say my superiors need proof that engaging the Crimson Fleet is a larger priority than they're willing to admit. If we shove enough concrete evidence under their noses, they'll have no choice but to allocate the resources that I've requested. At the same time, we can use the evidence to arrest members of the Crimson Fleet, weakening them enough to strike a fatal blow. Well then, I suppose you'll just have to take your chances. In the meantime, I expect you to follow my orders, to the letter. Remember, this entire operation rests on your ability to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet and bring us the evidence we need to take them down. I wouldn't expect any less. Look, before you begin, I want to make something perfectly clear. As an undercover operative for UC SysDef, you'll be expected to follow our code of conduct and ethics. Allow yourself to stray too far off the path, and you stand a good chance of spiraling out of control. To put it simply, you can't go into every situation with guns blazing. Think before you act. Calculate what you're doing and pull the trigger only when it's absolutely necessary. At the end of the day, your primary goal is taking down the Crimson Fleet. That's the greater good. If you would kindly continue. Please, finish your thought, so that we can move on to other business. You were saying you have permission to speak. Please, finish your thought, so that we can move on to other business. You were saying you have permission to speak. If you would kindly continue. You were saying you have permission to speak. If you would kindly continue. Please, finish your thought, so that we can move on to other business. The Crimson Fleet doesn't follow the rules. They only abide by one thing: money. All of their morals and social graces fall by the wayside in pursuit of their greed. At first glance, this can appear quite enticing, so I'm warning you not to get lured into their trap. Think you can handle that? Well, you better learn quick. Otherwise, I'll start looking for someone to take your place. Anyway, it's time to hand you over to Lieutenant Toft. She'll brief you about the details of the evidence-gathering portion of the operation. Now, get out of here, and good luck. That's easy to answer. You don't. We'll be monitoring your activities from the Vigilance and attempting to keep it within your vicinity. When you feel you've gathered enough evidence, and at the completion of your assignments, head back here for a debrief. Beyond that, you're completely on your own. All we know is that she's been with the Trade Authority for years, which means she's been privy to some seriously shady deals. She's shrewd and she's diligent. The only reason we were able to connect her with the Crimson Fleet at all was thanks to an informant. I'm afraid she's the best lead we've got. For your own safety, nobody but myself and the crew of the Vigilance will be aware that you're working for the United Colonies. Basically, if you land in jail, you're going to have to deal with the fines. While you're running with the Crimson Fleet, you're undoubtedly going to be faced with some morally gray decisions. It's going to be difficult for you to weigh the consequences of pulling the trigger while maintaining your cover. Do what you have to do, but remember why you're out there in the first place. Then you do what you have to do. The Crimson Fleet has the potential to kill hundreds, even thousands of people per year. If it takes a few deaths to maintain your cover, then so be it. But only as an absolutely final resort. This is not a licensed killing spree. Understood? That's why I expect you to constantly seek alternative means to overcome your obstacles, rather than blowing holes in them. Look, I can see that you're struggling with this. So let me simplify this for you. If there's a route to your goal which doesn't involve killing innocent people, I'm urging you to follow that path. Use your instincts. I'm certain you'll do the right thing. You have your orders.
right. We don't have a lot of time, so I need you to listen up. While you're working undercover, it's imperative that you gather as much evidence as possible. If you find any records that look suspicious or incriminating, you bring it to me. Is that understood? I'd scour every inch of wherever the Crimson Fleet sends you. Otherwise, you're wasting our time and risking your neck for nothing. Criminals are sloppy. Look hard enough, and I'm certain you'll stumble across their mess. Well, since it isn't every day we stumble across a criminal's fully written confession, we need to build a case against our suspects. The more evidence we acquire, the stronger our case becomes. And knowing the Crimson Fleet, they'll leave plenty of evidence for you to find. Rationalize it however you like, but that evidence is critical to the success of Commander Akande's operation. I want data slates, computer downloads, handwritten notes. Hell, I'll take anything if it'll get those bastards thrown into the brig. Haven't you been paying attention? Our goal here is the complete eradication of the Crimson Fleet. In order to do that, we need to dismantle them piece by piece from within. If you bring me evidence, we can make arrests and slowly drain their resources. Think of it as a death by 1,000 tiny cuts. For the sake of the settled systems, I hope you're right. That minor skirmish you had with them on Vectera was nothing compared to the death and destruction those pirates leave behind. If you've seen what I've seen, you'd understand why I'm pushing you so hard. Then you'll understand why it's so important that this operation is successful. Anyway, before I let you go, there's just one more thing. Commander Akande has authorized a credit disbursement for each piece of evidence that you return, as compensation for your efforts. Commander Akande came up with the idea. He was concerned you might not help us simply because it was the right thing to do. All right, we've loaded a container of Aurora into your ship's cargo hold. We're also providing you with a sample you can use to tease the goods. We've cleared your ship for launch. Proceed to Sidonia. Make contact with Saoirse Bowden. And with any luck, she'll point you to the Crimson Fleet. That should do it. You're dismissed. Don't worry, the container's been registered with UC Security, so you shouldn't have any trouble. Even if you're scanned. Of course, if we find out you tried to sell it to someone outside the boundaries of this particular operation, well, I don't think I need to tell you the consequences of making that mistake. We'll be keeping them close at hand until this operation is complete. So, we'll be holding them in the Vigilance's brig. If you're feeling particularly ruthless, you could always head down there and say hello. I'm sure they'll be thrilled to see you. Not really, no. I've learned to keep my personal experiences separate from the job. Was it? Yeah, I suppose I tend to do that. Comes from having no one to talk to around this ship. That's to be expected, I suppose. The Vigilance isn't exactly the best place to have casual conversations. We have serious work to do. Let's just stick to the job at hand and concentrate on the mission. But, maybe we can talk about it some other time, okay? We'll be here if you need us.
Yes. What? Pardon?
Hello.
Hello.
I got a question for you. How many pirates does it take to screw a light bulb?
No idea. 100?
One. It only takes one pirate to screw everything.
Commander Ikonde runs a tight ship, so I suggest we be on our best behavior.
Hello.
Excuse me.
Okay, hello. Howdy.
Yes? What?
If you have any questions, save them for Commander Ikonde.
Mole. I don't know about you. People who work undercover, they're sneaky by nature. Hard to read. When I fly, I want someone beside me who I can predict. Boxes by the Marquess of Queensbury rules. But you're a southpaw. A wild card. No, I don't. But I do know the previous occupants of that interrogation chair you were sitting in. Not good people, to say the least. I think one of them even strangled a man. With his teeth. But if Commander Ikonde says you're Sistef, then you are one of us. For now. You guessed it. In fact, I'd say you've got what linguistic experts call FOGO, a firm grasp of the obvious. But I'm not just any pilot. I'm the best, and I've got the kills to prove it. On that, we agree. I guess we'll have to test that theory out someday, hotshot. Long story. I got my start in the Academy and made a name for myself hunting the Crimson Fleet. I eventually got recruited to do test flights on a star station orbiting Lloyden's Rock. Me and 3 other Archangel pilots did some work on some extremely dangerous prototypes. But I called in a few favors and got back home with Sistef. Someone with my talents needs to be here, where the action is. I cut my teeth on space trucks, believe it or not. Before I got my stripes, I was just another cargo hauler trying to earn an honest wage. But after a couple slick escapes, I got recruited to the Academy and went from dodging pirates to hunting them. Thing is, some of my best tricks were with a big rig. Ever try a pitchback with a Hope Tech truck with 2 fleet wraiths on your tail? Compared to that, doing it with a military fighter is a piece of cake. Try not to forget who you are, okay? It'd break the commander's heart to have to hunt you down.
Hey, do what Commander Ikonde says and you'll go far.
Good day, Captain.
Where are we headed next?
Corco, that room of yours
Do
better
you
be
need
clean
something?
next time I go in there.
I'll get to it, Dad. I promise.
This ain't like getting around. Operation complete. Thrusters free.
Pardon.
While we're here, let's swing by Centaurian so I can pick up some ammo.
Scanned as you enter the city. Please keep moving.
Another day, another credit. I'm so excited to see Tony after work. Oh, thank you so much. Soon I'll be coursing with bountiful energy. I'll be the most enthusiastic janitor in New Atlantis. Here, take this. I found it while I was cleaning. I figured you might find a use for it. Thanks again. I really appreciate it. See you around.
If it isn't my favorite almost a lab assistant. What can I do for you?
I need all of the biosensors if the data is to be of any use.
Recent scans of the tree have suggested that a significant portion of the interior is liquefied. Obviously, some small percentage of its internal workings is always liquid to allow for the transfer of nutrients and so forth, but this, well, I've never seen anything like it. If it continues to increase, I'm concerned the entire tree may collapse, and I'm also worried about other secondary effects. If the time comes, I will certainly attempt to alert the appropriate people en masse. If I have more data, though, my concerns might carry some more weight. It's too soon to speculate. I'd very much like to see the additional data before I say more. I appreciate your confidence. The sooner I have all the available data, the sooner I can make an assessment. So you do. Wonderful. I'll just take these, and we'll see what they have to tell us. All right, we'll just upload the data. Give it a moment. And just another moment. Oh. It is working, isn't it? Ah, there it is. What a relief. Now, let's see. This is... well, it's... oh my. Well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that my suspicions were correct. There is something wrong with the tree. I will report my findings to MAST immediately with no small amount of satisfaction. The phrase, "I told you so," may even be uttered more than once. Well, from a certain point of view. In an, admittedly, somewhat selfish manner. The bad news, as it were, is that the internal composition of the tree is changing. In this particular case, the tree is now regularly emitting ultra-low frequency sound waves. They're nearly imperceptible now, but they're growing in strength. This is something we've never observed before. Depending on how large these waves grow, consequences for the city could be disastrous. I must consult with my colleagues in MAST at once. Thank you for your assistance. I hope these credits are adequate compensation.
The data from the biosensors speaks for itself.
This old mining colony looks more rundown than Ebbside or Neon. And that's saying something.
keep installing new
Sorry.
cool things in your
I
ship.
was lost in the...
It's like Christmas every day.
Looking for something? Mm-hmm. Lay it on me. Of course. Maria. Do you have something in mind, or do you just want to pick a star and see what's there? I'm up for anything.
All yours, Barrett. Try to come back in one piece this time?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
When a settlement looks so peaceful and secure, it starts to become a target. I guess that's why New Atlantis and even Sidonia have as much security as they do. It's good to be home, right? Okay, just hand me.
If it belongs on your... Hope you're finding everything. Oh, please, take a... Thanks for coming in.
You might want this.
Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Apparently, he's got some work.
Hey.
The trade authority seems to be doing just fine for themselves, unsurprisingly.
The Trade Authority has access to goods and services. It's cliche, but it's true. You won't find a better select. Pleasure dealing with you.
What do you want? I'm very busy, as you can tell.
No lawyer can't say I'll have what you need. But you're welcome to look. A reporter? Fine, but I'm only talking basics. I don't like people snooping around my business. Name's Henrik. I own Apex Electronics. That's all I'm willing to say to some nosy reporter. How the hell do you think? Life's a mess down here. I'm not holding my breath for it to get any better. Door's still open, isn't it? That's my idea of success. Sorry if you were hoping for something more flowery. Great! Now why don't you help me out and buy something? I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Problem?
Yes?
Hey, if you're looking for a weapon specialist, I could really use the work to pay off some debts. The kind that need to be paid off quickly, or else I'm in big trouble. And if you don't mind, I'd kind of like to keep the details of that to myself. Unless you're agreeing to hire me, of course. I'm not asking for that much. Just my fair share. You're asking me to work for less than the going rate? Why would I do that? Yeah, I've heard of you. I do like working with the best. Not if I go broke. That's true. There's more to a job than just money. Well, I guess something's better than nothing. I'll cut my price, but I'm not going any lower. Really? I mean, thanks. Sorry, I'm just used to hearing no. Thanks for giving me a chance.
Hey there! You look like the planet-hopping type. Got any room on your ship for someone like me? Plenty. I'm comfortable on a ship, especially in the gunner seat. I'm also a trained expert with shotguns. I have the certification to prove it. Aye aye, Captain. I won't overcharge you. I'm grateful for the offer. I've been out of a job since I left the Freestar Rangers. You're short on credits? For you, I'd consider a discount. Nobody wants that. That's a good one. Well, the last thing I want is you going bankrupt on my account. I'll work for whatever you can pay. Thanks! I think we'll make a great team, huh? Thanks for giving me a chance, Captain. I won't let you down.
This place is a delightful relic tangled up with hope, grit, and science. Wow, you're not messing around. Hey, you might want this. Hey, so I thought you might like this. I hope you do. Of course, I was walking by it and I thought, hey, what the heck? Why not? Anyway, I figured you might have a use for it. I almost didn't pick it up, but then I thought you might have a good use for it. Whew, glad I did. If I see anything on our next expedition to a planet, then I'll hang on to it for you. Living in the ground or caves has been a classic. Human maneuvers since our species branched off.
My buddy Mitch keeps asking if I can help him out.
Sidonia may be rough around the edges, but it is utterly monumental for humanity.
If you're here to buy or sell, you might want to talk to Octai. I'm busy. Octai Enbayar. He's the head of our Sidonia branch. If you want to do some trading, he's the one you need to be talking to. I'm busy. And by sensitive, I'm guessing you mean something you don't want UC security sticking their noses into. I can probably help you with that. What have you got for me? Aurora, huh? Nice. A little too hot to handle, though. What else you got?
Well, hang on there. We haven't even started to negotiate yet.
No, they're right. What they didn't tell you is that I have a self-preservation streak 1 kilometer wide. Of course, if there's a finder's fee you're offering, I might, well, bend the rules a little bit. You know, it's funny. Suddenly, I do remember someone who might be able to unload that stuff for you.
Glad we could put things into perspective.
There's a buddy of mine who runs with the Crimson Fleet. Goes by the name Adler Kemp. If he isn't passed out, you can find him killing the rest of his brain cells at the Broken Spear. Oh, and it's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Sure. I've got a minute.
A reminder that Bring Your Child to Work Day.
Yeah, Lot. How's it going? Can I help? Cool.
It is not advised to allow children
See you around.
into potentially dangerous work sites. Keep our children safe. Keep them out of harm's way. Thank you from the Sidonia Department of Labor.
So we'd struck oil, but it turns out it was just...
Unless you're here to serve me another drink, you can turn around and walk away. Hey, why don't you say that a little louder? I don't think every single UC guard in Sidonia heard you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we can help you with this. If you've got a whole shipment of this stuff, you're going to need to move it fast. But you're going to have to do something for us first. Right down to business! And no small talk. I like it.
That wasn't part of our deal. But I bet you're about to say it's a non-negotiable addendum.
As a matter of fact, yes. Yes, I am. Non-negotiable addendum. I like that. Now listen up, because I'm not going to repeat myself. I need you to deal with a miner who's racked up a bunch of debt. He probably spent it all on booze, not that I blame him. Either way, I want that money back. What do I need to do here? Write you an instruction manual? You can do this loud, you can do this quiet. I don't care. I just want my goddamn money, and I want this guy to remember who he screwed over. Perfect. His name's Carl Fielding. I think you'll find him wandering around the Deimos miners' quarters. Don't worry, you can't miss him. Just look for the most miserable-looking guy in the entire place.
It is illegal to transport plant or animal life to Mars without going through official sea channels or our transporting partners. Adherence to this law is imperative in order to avoid unwanted.
Faith in the greatness and ingenuity of the human spirit.
Something I can help you with? Hey, slow down. I don't even know what you're talking about. Adler, you said? Nope. I think you have me mixed up with someone else. Look, I'm tired. It's been a long day in the mines. I just want to go home, wash off the dust, and relax. This has been fun, though. Whatever. Hey now. Take it easy there. Let me think about that person you mentioned. Adler, was it? Oh, wait. You mean that Adler? Yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking about someone else. I told him I'd pay up next week when Deimos cuts our next profit share check. I'll even bring it to him personally. Sound good? Yeah? Come on! Give me a break! What the... Look, I haven't got a single credit to spare right now. Okay? You can't squeeze blood from a stone. You know? Right?
Technically, there are several natural geologic phenomena that can stimulate the blood effect.
What games? Why are you doing this to me? I don't have the money. No way! I'm already working my fingers to the bone! Well, I might be able to cash in a few of my Deimos shares. What? If I give you the last of my credits, my family starves. I can't afford to do that. I won't do that. Ah! No! Get away from me!
Oh, well, this isn't gonna last long.